issues I've been asked a lot recently is, why is a CFO required early in the business's life, even at the start? A lot of people have said, well, yes, I can see the need, but not now, sometime in the future. What are the risks and dangers associated with postponing the recruitment of your CFO? So let's have a look and think about, what does a CFO actually do? The first most important issue is cash flow management. Does the business have enough money for the next 12 months? I was a finance director of a local business a few years ago, and when I went into the business to help out, the salesman came to me and he said, I'm not allowed to travel because we don't have any money. And a business where the salesman is not allowed to travel is a business that doesn't make more sales, and a business that doesn't increase its sales has a limited shelf life. So one of the first priorities I had and did during my time there was to prepare a 12-month cash flow forecast. And I sat down with the salesman and said, okay, well, what do you need to do? And he said, well, I need to go to the US, three or four times a year, and I need to go to Europe as well. And so I asked, how much do you need to spend, and when do you need to do it, and how does that fit in with your other plans? And so I put that money into the cash flow forecast as a priority. And the cash flow forecast contained all the costs that I could identify that the business was committed to, and also an assessment of sales income, which was obviously needed to finance the expenditure. And that cash flow forecast showed that we could trade for the next 12 months. We had confidence in trading for the next 12 months, which meant we had some confidence in spending money supporting sales. Secondly, that forecast, cash flow forecast, provides a basis for the preparation of a 12-month budget. That's important because it contains all the money you think you want to spend or need to spend. Well, firstly need, then want, and also it creates assumptions around the sales that the business expects to do. So you're challenging other members of the management team, other departments in the business as to what they would like to do, intend to do, need to do. And out of that comes a benchmark around which the performance of the business can be measured and checked, so that if the gross profit assumption is, in this case, 84%, then are we achieving it? Do we do it? If we've assessed certain levels of overheads, are we exceeding them or not? In this case, the overhead budget every year for the 6 years I was there was always either slightly underspent or pretty much on budget, so it can be done. The challenge often is in the sales side. Do we do the sales we intend to do? Can we do them? But that's a separate issue. Moving on from the management accounts, which obviously are important, is the long-term plan. Where does the business intend to go? Where does it want to be? What does it want to achieve? And usually businesses want to grow, and therefore the question is, do we have enough cash to do so? What are the expectations around product development? How much is that going to cost? Who's going to pay for it? There may be issues around scaling up the business and its capacity to deliver, and the questions around scaling that up early before you have the sales, and have you got enough cash to do that? So that provides a basis of an assessment of looking into the future and ensuring that the company either raises the cash or is able to afford it from its own activities. And if the business and the assumptions made by the directors and the market changes, then you have the basis of pulling back, reassessing where you need to be. So the CFO provides the information and the checks and balances to some of the enthusiasms of the management team. So the CFO is important and can be the difference between success and failure can be quite costly to everyone involved.